Hi, it's still the apple time, so we'll make an apple pie. Let's start by the crust. It's the same recipe that I used in the vanilla flan, except I put air cinnamon instead of nutmeg, and the quantities differ. Okay, let's start. We mix air 400 grams of flour with 200 grams of soft butter. We mix them until they become like sand. After, we add 200 grams of icing sugar. We mix. In another bowl, we mix 1 egg, 2 pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and some water. We mix the mixture with the flour without kneading the dough. We can add more water if our dough is too brittle. It should be soft but not too sticky. We want a beautiful ball, and after, with the palm of our hand, we should fraiser the dough. We press it in order to incorporate the last chunks of butter. We separate the dough in two, one part for the bottom and one other for the stripe that will decorate our pie. Let the dough in the fridge for some hours if you can. Now I roll out the dough on a parchment paper. I remove the air bubbles. I cut the excess and I prick the dough. And now the apples. Here I got 8 pink lady. I peel them and remove the apple core. You can choose any apple, Macintosh, Granny Smith, Cortland, or what you want. Each has its own qualities. Polar red will melt easier than those pink lady, for example. Some are more acid, some more sweet, etc. Now we melt a 40 grams of butter. Afterwards, we add the apples. We can add the juice of half lemon. We cover our pan during the cooking. We can add 1 or 2 shooters of Calvados, a French apple brandy. I add 120 grams of brown sugar. I mix or try to mix all the ingredients and the apples together. After, I add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a half teaspoon of ground ginger. You can be more generous with spices. We add the pinches of salt. After, we mix about 35 grams of cornstarch with 60 milliliters of heavy cream or apple juice. That can be good, but that's for later, so we reserve. Now, we want to melt the apple. When the apple are extremely soft and break easily under our spoon, we turn off the fire and add our cornstarch. This cornstarch is facultative. We mix all rapidly, and when all is thick, we let the apple puree cool down. Now we can roll out the second part of our dough and we cut the stripes that will cover our pie. We can prepare already our dorure. 1 egg yolk mixed with less than 1 teaspoon of milk. We will use this mixture on our stripe in order to have a golden brown color at the end. Now we pour our apple puree in our crust. With a spoon, we even the surface. And now we can put the stripes on the top. You can also braid the stripe if you want. It's more beautiful, but whatever. Now we can add the eggy mixture on our stripe. And we put our pie in the preheat oven at 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius degree for about 45 minutes or until the pie become a little brown. The filling is like a thick puree but with some chunks of apple in it. I hope you'll try and like it. Thanks et à la prochaine.